When it comes to diesel performance, many folks want a truck and engine that can do it all. A daily driver, a weekend race warrior, and a camper towing machine. That was exactly the case for Josh McCormick and his build of a triple turbo 6.7 liter Cummins. This particular engine was his third build of a 6.7 liter after his first one dumped a rod on the drag strip, and his second one was only rated to 1,500 horsepower, which wasn't ultimately going to be enough.
I wanted the ultimate that the industry had to offer.
And when something like that is a possibility in the diesel world, you can't blame Josh for trying. We'll give you all the details of this triple turbo 6.8 liter Cummins in this episode of Diesel of the Week.
This video is brought to you by AmSoil, the first in synthetics. Visit amsoil.com for more information.
Hey everyone, I'm Greg Jones for Engine Builder, and today we're talking about a triple turbo 6.8 liter Cummins engine built by Josh McCormick in Cedar City, Utah, along with his friend Meyer Stump. Josh is an employee of Power Driven Diesel, and as mentioned earlier, this was Josh's third Cummins build after not being satisfied with the first two. Here's Josh to tell you more.
I built the original 20/6.7 engine 3 years ago. It was supposed to be a towing engine, and that one I put like about 45,000 miles on, and it finally let go at like 1,362 horsepower when we bent the rod, and it let go on the drag strip. I ran a 10.00 at 136 when the engine let go. I ended up bending all the connecting rods and I thrusted the crank backwards. This year we went to rebuild and we did 1,683 horsepower, like 2,400, almost 2,500 foot-pounds of torque on that engine, and the block was only rated to 1,500 and the rods were only rated to 1,500. So I got rid of that setup and then I built the current one I have.
This third engine, a 6.7 liter Cummins, bored out to a 4230 bore, makes it a 6.8 liter, or a 6-point great, as Josh likes to refer to it. The engine build began in early April 2020, and will end up in Josh's 2005 Dodge Ram 3500 truck, with an eye toward drag racing, sled pulling, and dyno competitions.
Yeah, so it's a Hamilton Cams competition wet block. It's a Hamilton Cams race crank, Hamilton tappets and cam. It's a set of Wagler competition products, 1 inch longer rods. It's a set of Hamilton steel 6.7 pistons and a 4,230 bore, which technically makes the displacement 6.8 liters instead of 6.7. It's got a power-driven diesel cylinder head. It's got Manton valve springs, power-driven diesel push rods. It's got a Kenny's pulling products, 14-millimeter girdle, and then it's got a Steed Speed manifold on it right now. And for fueling, we have 2 Dynamite diesel stroker pumps. So I have 2 sets of injectors, a set that will do 2,000 horsepower almost to the dot, and then I have a set that'll do about 2,400 horsepower. So I have 2 sets of injectors from DDP along with their modified 6.7 rail and modified tubes. And then all of this goes through a factory 2005 ECM 848 with Gordon Lindemuth tuning it. That all goes through a power-driven diesel 48RE transmission.
While Josh is certainly more knowledgeable when it comes to Cummins engines, he didn't build this 6.8 liter Cummins completely alone. Helping him on the build was his buddy Meyer Stump.
The guy that stays up with me till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to get stuff done. Guy definitely has been a huge help on the build. My bosses here at Power Driven Diesel, they're no strangers to big horsepower.
Josh also enlisted Enoch Motorsports for block machine work and Nye Automotive for work on the cylinder head. The goal of this newest build was simple. Josh wanted a 2,000 horsepower truck that still had a full interior, a full bed, air conditioning, and a factory fuel tank. He wanted a daily driver that could do it all.
I didn't want a solid block to be completely honest, I didn't have money for a deck plate, which is how a lot of guys are doing it, and I didn't really want to give up any displacement because where I live is 6,000 feet above sea level, so like turbos don't spool as well, engines are a little smokier, just because of the density loss. I like going to events where I can do more than one thing. We have a set of radials for it, a set of dyno tires for it, we have 6 sled pulling tires. We run duals in the back, single up front. And I wanted it to be able to do more than just one event and do really well at it.
Helping the 6.8 liter reach Josh's horsepower goals will be a set of triple turbos and 4 stages of nitrous from Nitrous Express. Before the engine got to that point, however, Josh eased into the horsepower with a single turbo.
For the break-in, we're doing a single 488 Aggressor turbo, which is from Power Driven Diesel. And then the big setup is going to be triples. It's going to be 2 476s feeding a 480 from Forced Inductions turbos. We're doing the engine break-in right now, and on a single turbo, it's easier to keep an eye on things, and the boost pressure is not too high, and the torque isn't as high.
Josh then added nitrous to the mix, and as the rings started to seat, he added the triple turbo setup. The engine also has interstage cooling from a water methanol kit and a fluid amper helping balance it all out.
2,000 horsepower is the goal. The real conundrum that we're in is the highest horsepower through a comp wet block right now that I'm aware of is like 2,200. We have enough wastegate, turbo, nitrous, and fuel to do 2,400. 2,000 is the goal. I might try to push for a little bit more, but the big thing this year is just 2,000 horsepower, go sled pull it, and then run that elusive 9-second pass that I've been chasing for far too long.
From the sound of it, Josh is well on his way to exceeding his goals and dreams with this latest 6.8 liter Cummins. Well, that does it for this episode of Diesel of the Week. A special thanks to our sponsor, AMSOIL. And remember, if you have an engine that you'd like to feature, please email me at gjones@babcox.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.